Do you want to learn how to make creative and professional edits in Premiere Pro? Then you are in the right place, sir. Hello everyone, my name is Adam. I'm a professional graphic designer and video editor, and in this course I'm going to be teaching you guys professional tips and tricks in Adobe Premiere Pro. So this course is absolutely not for beginners. So if you're already familiar with the program, you know how to make basic edits, and you're looking to upgrade your video editing skills, then this course is for you. So here is what you gonna learn. You will start by learning a couple of hacks to make Premiere Pro run faster, how to work with proxies for smoother playback, different cutting techniques like the L cuts and J cuts and action cut to take your edit to the next level. My 16 personal video editing tips for a smoother workflow. How to work with keyframes to create beautiful and creative text animations. Creative video effects like giving your videos a comic book look, the prism effects, and much more. Different ways of working with masks like removing objects or adding depth to your text. Last but not least, you will learn how to work with frame rate to make professional speed ramping and much more. So of course you will need Adobe Premiere Pro, the latest version. I'm working of course with the latest version to this date. And we're gonna need Adobe Audition, but just for one lecture so I can show you how we can make professional audio loop. This course will also be updated whenever there is a new trick that I learned or whenever there is a major update with the program. I believe in learning by doing. So in every lecture, you're going to be doing something. You're going to be learning something or creating something. And also there is 2 final class projects that I need you to complete to show me that you learned, that you got something from the course. Okay guys, so that's it, and see you inside. So I want to start by showing you a couple of tips to make Adobe Premiere Pro run faster for a smooth playback and to avoid any collateral damages like breaking screens and chairs. Anyway, so let me just explain what I have here. So I have this sample footage from the Red camera. It's RAW and it's a 5K resolution footage. If I come over here to my sequence, right click and then go to sequence settings, okay, you can see what we're working with here. 5K resolution, 25 frames a second, okay, you get the idea. And also I went ahead and applied some basic auto contrast and LUT to this clip, okay, just for the sake of explaining what I'm about to explain. So if I come over here and click on play, you can see the lag, okay, because it's high res, because it's raw, because I'm recording. Anyway, it just happens. Whether you have a good computer or not, you can never escape the lagging, especially if you're working in high-res footage, 6K or 8K, and high frame rates. So let's see how we can fix this. So first thing first, what you can do is come over here to the playback resolution, and instead of working in full res, you can go ahead and decrease it, okay? Maybe to half, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16. It doesn't matter, okay? I'm gonna choose 1/16. And if I click play now, you can see now it runs much smoother. Now, guys, you don't have to edit in high res. You don't have to. I mean, unless you're working with the shitty footage, which I understand, then you can use proxies, okay? And we're gonna talk about proxies on the next lecture. But for me, it's okay. You can work in low res for a smoother playback, especially if you're working on big projects. And depending on your computer, you can try, maybe if this is too low for you, you can try 1/8 and see how it goes depending on the specs of your computer. The next thing is to remove any effects that you add to your clip. So in my case, I added a couple of color effects, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and toggle those off. So come over here to this plus icon. Okay, it's called the button editor. Click here and then find effects. Okay, click and drag and put it here, whatever you want, and then click OK. Now, if I toggle on and off, you can see that the effects are still there. It just hides them. And if I click play, it's gonna help even more with the playback. You see this? Amazing. And if you want it back, you just click here again and boom. Okay, so what else can we do again to make Adobe Premiere Pro faster? So if we come over here to Edit and go to Preferences, look for Media Cache. If you are on a Mac, you go to Premiere Pro and then Preferences and then Media Cache. Now pay attention here where it says Media Cache Files. You can see that the location is in my computer, which is bad. So what you can do here is add your Media Cache into an external hard drive. You can go to Browse. I have my external hard drives right here, and I can select one where I can save the Media Cache files. Okay, that will save you a lot of space on your computer. The next thing you can do is delete the Media Cache files, because it will take a lot of space from your computer, okay, and it will slow down Adobe Premiere Pro. So make sure you delete them every now and then, especially if you spend too much time on Adobe Premiere Pro. You don't have to change the database location in here. Down here we have Media Cache Management, and you want to set this one probably to automatically delete cache files older than, and you enter the number of days. So the number of days will depend on how much days you spend editing one single video. So if you spend 20 days on a single video, you make here 20 days. If you spend less or more, you enter the correct number of days. Once you're happy with all these settings, you can go ahead and click OK. One more thing I want to point out is the autosave. This one. So I have it automatically save projects every 15 minutes. But if you uncheck it, it's also going to help make Adobe Premiere Pro faster. But keep in mind that if you're not in the habit of saving your projects manually, I don't recommend that you uncheck automatically save projects. Okay? You should be in the habit of having the right arm on the mouse and the left arm on Control or Command-S for saving. If you don't work like this, it's better to leave it automatically saved. Because here's the thing. Why did I tell you to uncheck automatically save projects? Sometimes when you're working on a big project and you add an effect and all that stuff, Adobe Premiere Pro will stop for a second, okay, it will freeze to save whatever you're doing. And sometimes when it freezes like this, it may cause an Adobe Premiere Pro crashing. Okay guys, so just keep in mind everything that I'm telling you right now. Once everything is cool, you can go ahead and click on OK. Now, one more thing, if I come over here to File, and then look for Project Settings, General, right here where it says Video Rendering and Playback, Render, make sure you have OpenCL. Either you're on a Mac or you are on a computer, OpenCL is the way to go. If you work with this one, you're gonna run into a lot of problems like slow playbacks, much more Adobe Premiere Pro crashing, and rendering is just rubbish. Okay, so based on my personal experience, I highly recommend that you work with this thing or this option right here, OpenCL. Okay guys, one more thing is proxies, but we're gonna talk about proxies on the next lecture. So let's start with the video editing tips, guys. And the first thing I want to talk about is titles. So if I come over here to type tool and click on the screen, I can easily add my title to my image or video, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and open Essential Graphics and then just increase the size of the title like this. Okay, and then just align everything in the center. If you don't have Essential Graphics here, you can go to Window and then find Essential Graphics. For the font, I'm gonna keep the Gothic one. It's bold, so I like it better. Okay, it's not a thin font. Now guys, as you can see here, we did add the title. It's super easy, all good. But the thing is, it does look like it's sort of, I'm not sure if it's the correct term, but it's sort of receding into the background, okay? There is no enough contrast. It doesn't stand out from the background. So you always have to ask yourself when adding titles to your videos, does it contrast enough with the background or does it not, okay? So it's all gonna depend on how much brighter the clip is and all that stuff. So in my case right here, there is not enough contrast. So what can we do to improve this? So first thing first, I'm gonna come over here where the text ends, and then just cut right here, select the clip, and then under the effects controls panel, I'm gonna look for opacity, this one right here. Make sure you have normal and then just decrease it. Okay, like this a little bit. Now you can see it's already standing out. So this is one way of contrasting the title with the background. Of course, there are a lot of things that you can do, but I'm just showing you here a couple of tips. The next thing you can do is add a blur. So if I come over here to Effects and then type in Gaussian blur, this one right here, I can grab it and put it here. Look for it here. Okay, and then just add a little bit like this. Okay, just a little bit, guys. Don't add too much because you're gonna have some weird blurriness on the edges. Okay, and we don't want that. So just add a little bit. Okay, guys, and just like this, you see right now that we did add enough contrast between the title and the background, okay? Because you have to ask yourself, guys, why are we adding such a big title in the middle? It's because we want the viewer to focus and be able to read whatever we want them to read. If it wasn't the case, if we just want to add something as a pop-up information or a note, then we can go ahead and add a lower third, okay, guys? One more thing you can do, of course, before we finish this first step, let me just undo real quick. Here we go. Now we can see the difference. Like this, it doesn't look that good. So if I come over here again to Effects and add or look for tints, click and put it here. Okay, I can adjust it more here. And now you can see with this one, it does look better as well. You can also animate this tint effect if you want. So guys, there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of creative solutions that you can apply. The main point here is that you need to make sure there is enough contrast between the foreground and the background so the viewer can really read what you want them to read. The next step I want to talk about is quick copy. So usually a lot of people copy with Control-Command-C and then move the playhead and then Control-Command-V to paste the clip wherever the playhead is. But there is a much faster way. Okay, if I click on this clip and then unlink the audio and the video, I can just hold Alt or Option and then drag as many copies as I want wherever that I want. Okay guys, so this is a much faster, quicker way to copy clips instead of using Command-Control-C and Command-Control-V. I'm gonna undo this real quick. The next step I want to talk about is the speed playback. Okay, so if I go ahead and click on play, you can see that the video is playing at normal speed. If I click on L, it's going to speed up the video. It's going to speed up more. So the more I click, the more it speeds up the video. So this is a good tip or technique that you can use when you want to view the clip before you start editing. Let's say someone sent you an interview or a wedding video. Okay, you need to view the clip before you start any editing process because you never know what's going on. Okay. The other thing that you can do, of course, is that you can click on up and down arrows on your keyboard to move the playhead from clip to clip. So you can see if I click on down, it's going to move forward to the beginning of each clip. And if I click up, it's going to move backward to the beginning of each clip. If I go ahead and select the entire clip, so I click and unlink. If I select the clips, Alt and duplicate them like this. Let me give this one another color. Now, if I come over here and check V2 and uncheck V1, click on the up or down arrow, you can see that's now I am toggling the up and not the down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and then just, adjust this another way. Now, if I click up and down, you can see that I am toggling the V2, okay? I uncheck and check here, V1. Now I am working on the V1. If I select V1 and V2, it's gonna toggle them both. Okay, so we jump into the next clip in V2, then it's gonna jump on the next clip in V1, then the next clip in V1, and then the next clip in V2, so you get the idea. The next tip is export while editing, and this tip you will only use it if you have a strong computer. Because if you have a low spec computer, it may not work as it should, and it may give you problems while editing. So Control or Command M to export or to render. And instead of clicking on export, you click on Q. So Media Encoder will open like this, okay, and you can start rendering your clip. Minimize the Media Encoder. And then you can create a new project and start editing whatever that you want to edit. Okay, guys? The next tip I want to share with you guys is called hide clips, okay? Or hide media, whatever. So you can see right here, we have a lot of videos, okay? Some of them we used already on the timeline. Some of them we still haven't used. So what can we do to free the space in here? We can hide the clips. So let me switch the view to icon view, okay? And now I can go ahead and select the clips that I don't need and then just hide them, okay? Right click and hide. Now, even though we have this icon down here, you can see it says video used, but it doesn't matter, it's still bothering me. I need to free up some space, so I need to hide my clips. It makes it much better to work. So I'm going to select on this one, scroll down, shift and select this one. Now I have 3 of them selected. Right click and then hide. This is the sequence, I'm not going to hide it. And now we only left with the clips that we still didn't use. Okay, so if I go back to my list view, you can see we did free up and clean up the space. Now you're probably thinking, where are my clips? What if I need them again? You can just right click here and then view hidden. Okay, if you need them gone, right click again and then uncheck view hidden. Okay, guys? The next step I want to talk about is the master clip effect. So let's say I want to apply a simple, nice grade to this video. So if I come over here to effects and then look for lumetri, I'm going to grab this one right here, cinematic 2-strip, drag it and put it on the first video clip like this. Come over here to effects control. Okay, I'm going to look for creative. Look, and then maybe try this one. Okay? Can reduce the intensity a little bit. Now, if I want to apply the same thing to the other clips, what I can do is click on the lumetri, Control Command C, select the other clips, Control Command V. Now everything has the same look. But what if I want to make some changes? Okay, what if I don't like this and I'm like, or maybe the clients don't like whatever you did with the colors and he tells you that you need to change something. Maybe add more blue, reduce the intensity of the look, whatever he demands. So if I'm using this method, I'm going to have them to select a clip, adjust it, and again select the others and Command C or adjust them individually. Anyway, it's going to be a pen in the you know what. So there's another way to fix this, and it's called the master clip effect. And in order for the master clip to work, the footage needs to be from the same source file. If you're working with random videos from Pixels or any royalty-free website, it's not gonna work. Okay, guys? So what I'm gonna do now is Control Command Z to undo everything. There we go. Now, with the first clip selected or any other clip, I'm gonna come over here under the effect controls and click on master. Okay, you see this one, master color. Now I can grab this look or this plugin and put it here, creative. Steel, reduce the intensity. And now you can see all the clips look the same, okay? If I zoom into the timeline, you can see that there is some sort of red line beneath the effects, okay? That means the master clip effects is applied, okay? Now if I want to apply changes, I can select any clip and modify it. It's gonna affect all the clips. Okay guys, so now it looks like the matrix. The next step I want to talk about is exporting sections. So if you're working on a clip, especially if you're color grading a video, the client will put such a pressure on you to show him the progress, to show him what we're doing, okay? Usually when I'm grading a clip or a video or something, the client keep asking me, oh, so how is this going? Can you show me what you're doing? How is this going? Can you? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So it's a good idea to export a section or a selection from your clip just as a sample to show it to your client, or as a sample if you want to put it on your social media, you know, as a teaser or whatever. Anyway, so to export section, you come over here to the timeline, click on a playhead, and you select from where to where you want to export. So I want to export from here, click I on your keyboard, to here, click O on your keyboard, or to here. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I and O, Control Command M. Okay guys, and now if I export, it will only export my selection. How do I know? If you look here, okay, you can see the selection that we've made earlier. Okay, sequence in and out. Export, and then it will export. The next step is ins and outs. So as you can see here, we have this video. It's almost 2 hours, okay? It's about my Photoshop course. And let's say I want to make a promo of this video and put it on YouTube for advertising. So I need to select the important scenes or clips that I will use to create an engaging or attractive promo. So instead of bringing the clip to the timeline, okay, and then finding whatever I need to find with the playhead and then cut in, what we can do is to use ins and outs. So I can double click on my clip right here. Okay, this then will open, and I can use this playhead to select the clips that I want to use in the promo. So I can click I to select and O to select again, like this. Okay, and then I can grab this and put it here. And I can go ahead and delete this one and put this one here. Okay, you get the idea. Let's say I want to use this part 2. I can click I and O to make my selection, and then grab it, put it here. Okay, and then put it here. And you can of course give them a name. Part 1, part 2. So you won't get confused. Okay guys? And I will continue doing so until I have all the clips that I want. Okay guys, so you can either drag from the video to the project, or you can drag directly to the timeline, whatever you want to do. Now this lecture is supposed to be exciting guys, because I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite text effect / animation in Adobe Premiere Pro. So when we talk about text animation or motion graphics, nothing beats After Effects, okay? But that doesn't mean that we cannot pull some amazing creative text effects in Adobe Premiere Pro, okay? So let's see how we can do this. So the first one I want to start with is called Roughen Edges, okay? So as you can see right here, I have the video, okay? Right here. So the first thing you're going to do is unselect everything, go to File, New, and then look for Legacy Title. Leave everything as it is. I'm just going to go ahead and change the name to Woods. There we go. Type in OK. This window will open. With the type tool selected, click on it and then click and drag like this. I'm going to go ahead and change the font size to 400. Maybe just adjust the UI like this real quick. Here we go. Type in Woods, or maybe the Woods, not Woods, like this, the Woods. There we go. Select the selection tool and then just adjust the bounding box. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change the font's family to something that will suit the video or the mood of the video. Okay, so probably this font, Verdana. Does the bounding box more. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and center the text like this. Once you're done with everything, you can close this window. Now you have your text right here. Click on it and then put it on top of your video, okay? I'm gonna go ahead now and adjust the length of the text, okay, to the same duration of the video. And now make sure you have the playhead right at the beginning of everything. Now click on the text legacy, okay, and under the effects control, I'm gonna go ahead real quick and just adjust the position a little bit like this. Go to your effects panel and then look for roughen edges. Okay, this one right here. Click on it and then put it on the text legacy like this. Scroll down on the effects controls panel. Again, make sure the playhead is at the beginning of everything. Now, you can see right here that we have border. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change the border to 500. And then add or click on the stopwatch to add the keyframe. Then I'm gonna move the playhead to the end of everything. And then change the border to 0 like this. Okay. Complexity to 1. And then right here where it says edge type, you can leave it roughen or you can change it to spiky. Okay, it doesn't matter. Pretty much you're gonna have the same effects. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and right click on those keyframes and then ease out and ease in. Now if I click play, okay, you can see it's forming, but right here, the words, we can barely see the S. And again, reposition it down a little bit like this, so we have enough contrast. And here we have it. So you can see that when I click play, the effect does take quite some time to manifest, okay? It does take some time to appear. It doesn't appear right away. How do we fix this? Again, bring the playhead to the beginning, click here, look for border, click on this arrow, okay? Now you will have those curves, those animation Bezier curve, okay? Click here on this one. And then grab the handles and then just put it down like this. Now if I click on play, you can see that it appears, the animation appears right away. Let's play again in normal speed. And here you have it, guys, okay? So this is the first animation. Next effect is basic 3D, and the animation we're gonna do is spinning barrel animation. So again, as before, come over here to File, New, and we wanna add a legacy title, okay? And type in surf. Adjust this a little bit like this. Choose the type tool. Type in surfing. I cannot see a thing, so we're gonna change the color to black. Okay, so we have enough contrast between the background and the foreground. And we will adjust the font size. change the font to something cool, like font trust. Here we go. And center everything, close this. Take the surf and put it here, the title legacy, adjust it to the clip. Make sure it snaps here. Select it, and then effects. Under effects, we're gonna type basic 3D, okay? This one, put it here. Now scroll down in your effects controls panel. Make sure the playhead is at the beginning. Where it says tilt, I'm gonna add 6x value. You see when I type X, it doesn't show on the box. That because the letters are in capital, okay? So you cannot type in capitals values. You need to type small letters values, like this. 6x, add stopwatch, move the playhead here, okay, before the end of the video, because we want the title to stop so people can read it. Change the value back to 0. Now if I click on play, you can see that it's spinning. What we need to do now is ease in, ease out the keyframes. Always you start with ease outs and ease in. So next what I want to do is that I want the spinning to start fast and then slow down as the video plays. So right here, tilt, click on the arrow, we have the curves. Now what you want to do is that you want to click on handle and then drag to the left like this. Okay, make sure you drag in a straight line. Don't go up and don't go down. Keep it in a straight line. Do the same thing for this one. Now if I click play, you can see that it's spinning fast and then it slows down. There we go. Now let's take it up a notch and we're gonna add a blur to this thing, to the spinning. Let's make it a wheel. Type in blur here and then select directional blur. Apply the effect to the legacy title. Scroll down, find a blur length. Okay, I'm gonna change the value to 26. Add the keyframe and then move right here. Before the spinning stops, I'm gonna add another keyframe. This one is 0. And same thing, ease out and ease in. Now if we play, next is background mask or video inside the text. You've probably seen this effect 1,000 times. So let's see how we can do it in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I have my sequence right here. Go ahead and select your type tool. Click on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and type in Marrakesh. Go ahead and open Essential Graphics. Now I'm just gonna adjust the size like this and center everything. Center again. There we go. So one thing you should keep in mind is that you need to work with a bold font like this one, okay? Don't choose a regular font like this one right here, the Gotham Knights. Let me switch to the selection tool so I can change the fonts. There we go. Okay, this one is not going to work with this specific effect, okay? So you need something bold like this one, okay? The Gale Sans Ultra Bold, or you can choose any other bold font that you want to work with. Next, you see right here where you have the text layer, okay? Go ahead and click on the new layer. And then from File, and then choose your video. Okay, here we go. Now put the text layer on top of the video layer. Scroll down while your text layer is selected, and then mask with text. Okay, and here we have it. You can of course select the video and position it as you wish. Okay, and now if we play, we have this beautiful effect. So one more thing is that we need to animate everything. So go ahead and select both by holding Shift, right click, and then create group. Now select the group, come over here to effects controls, right here where it says group 01. Open the arrow, scale. I'm gonna go ahead and change the value to 0. Add a stopwatch, move the playhead here, and then change it back to 100. Now again, I want the animation to start fast and then slow down. So instead of working with the curves again, I'm gonna select both keyframes, right click, and then continue with Bezier. Okay, let's take a look at the final results. And here we have it. The next effect on the line is the glitch, okay? So you can see right here I already have the title legacy, and I have these sound effects for the glitch. So I'm gonna grab my text, put it here, okay? Because I don't want the glitch to start right away. Maybe here. Then just adjust it to the video. There we go. Now I'm gonna come over here to effects and then look for block dissolve. This one, drag it, put it here. Make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the title legacy. Like this, scroll down. And you can see right here we have transition completion. I'm gonna go ahead and change the value to 100, add a stopwatch, and then move here a little bit. And change it back to 0, okay? So you can see that the duration of the effect is not a lot because this is a glitch, okay? It should be around 3 seconds or so. Now let's see what we have here. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and change the block width to 130 and block height to 130 as well. Okay, maybe less. See? Okay, just put it back to 136. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and look for another effect, and it's VR glitch. Okay, this one, VR digital glitch, add it here. Bring the playhead to the beginning. So the master amplitude is what controls the glitch. So 100, I'm gonna leave it like this and then add a stopwatch. And then click here to move to the next keyframe and change this back to 0. Okay, let's see what we have now. All right, cool. Now let's add the sound effects here. Maybe zoom in a little bit. Just mute this for now. And I'm just going to adjust those keyframes. Zoom in. Go. Adjust those keyframes to the sound effects. There we go. It just ease in and out everything. And the final results will look like this. The final one for this lecture is the wiggle text effect or the wiggle text animation. Now this one is very cool. I've seen it used a lot, and here's how to do it. So first thing first is that you can see right here that I already added my title legacy, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, put it here and then adjust it. One quick tip here is that if you want to zoom in or out your videos in a timeline, you can come over here to this area where there's nothing, hold Alt or Option, and then with the middlemost button, you can scroll up or down to adjust the size as you wish, okay? Now look for turbulence displays, which we already did. Click on the effect, put it here on the title legacy, scroll down. Now you can see right here where it says displacement. If you click, you can find a lot of choices, options. You can experiment with all of these, but for the sake of this lecture, I'm gonna go with turbulence because this is the one I want to explain. The amount is 50 by default. I want to increase it to 40, maybe 42. Size, something around 36, 34, like this. Okay. Now right here, complexity will add the bubbles to the text. Okay. So as you increase the complexity, you get more bubbles to the text. So just find something nice. Just gonna type in 1.8. Evolution, I'm going to change it as well. So what it does is that it's going to loop the wiggle displacement effect throughout the video. So I'm gonna increase it to 40. And now the offset turbulence is what going to make the animation, okay? Is what going to make the wiggle animation. So make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the timeline. Add the stopwatch or a keyframe, whatever you want to call it. Move to the end like this, okay? Because you want the text to move through the entire video. And now go ahead and increase those numbers, okay? Increase the number to the right and to the left. Just like this. There we go. So keep in mind that the more you increase these two numbers, the more it's gonna wiggle. How much you need to increase will depend on what type of font you're working with and all that stuff. So experimentos, guys, experimentos. Okay, now let's see how it looks like in normal speed. Okay guys, so that's everything about this lecture. Okay, this is part 1 of text animation, and see you in part 2.